Hello everyone and welcome to another video on the channel. Today's video is going to be my weekly watches. This is only going to be obviously a week's worth because I was away last week, so I didn't watch anything. Just wasn't home, simple as that. But I did watch 3 films last night when I got home, so they'll be included, plus everything that I watched before I went away. I will say before we start, so I don't forget, we have got very special I say special, it's just a normal live stream, but it's we're doing like a Christmas live stream tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, as the streams usually are. So it'd be great if you could drop by, even if you can only stop for 5 minutes, show us some support. It should be a fun show. I've not planned it properly yet, but I've still got all afternoon today and when I get home tomorrow to plan it, so I should have enough time to plan it. It will be all Christmassy themed. We'll be talking about the typical stuff, our favourite Christmas films, what we generally tend to do at Christmas, our favourite things about Christmas, that sort of thing, and the usual stuff as well. So it should be myself, Kenny and Andy joining me tomorrow. So yeah, if you could drop by at any point, show some support, we would all very much appreciate that. But anyway, let's get straight into it with the first film I watched, which I think I watched about 2 weeks ago now. It was the Sunday before I went, so it's 2 weeks ago now I watched this. Fantastic cast, and the film unfortunately just did not live up to the cast. It's a film called Evening, and this is the cast we've got here: Claire Danes, Toni Collette, Vanessa Redgrave, Patrick Wilson, Hugh Dancy, Natasha Richardson, Mamie Gummer, Eileen Atkins, Meryl Streep, and Glenn Close. And you would think with a cast like that it would surely be a great film, but unfortunately it's just very dull and boring and just doesn't really do much. It's a real shame, and they waste a lot of characters in this film. They don't really go into them that much, and they decide to go into the less interesting characters and spend more time with them. It sort of switches between times. It switches between, I want to say it's probably like the 50s, and then the current day, which was 2007 when this came out. So in the 50s, you've got basically the lead is Claire Danes, who she's basically telling her story as an old woman in 2007, played by Vanessa Redgrave, who is basically on her deathbed, and she's just mumbling and jumbling story about when she was younger, when she was a young girl, and she came to visit where she now lives, and she basically comes to visit Hugh Dancy's character, who I believe she must have gone to school with or something, or she was friends with as a child, and she's come for his sister's wedding, played by Mamie Gummer, who they were also friends growing up as well. And they introduce her to Patrick Wilson's character, who's kind of this rogue, doesn't follow the rules type of guy that of course she falls in love with, but of course so does Mamie Gummer's character, and even further than that, so does Hugh Dancy's character. It's just boring, and Glenn Close is really badly used in this film. She's plays the mother of Mamie Gummer and Hugh Dancy's character. There is one scene towards the end where she is crying. She was great at that. She's always good at showing emotion. But the rest of that sort of story just sort of felt by the by. Really, they should have focused on one or the other and not gone backwards and forwards a lot, because then you've got the present day, you've got Toni Collette and Natasha Richardson, who play Vanessa Redgrave's character's daughters, who have come home to sort of look after her because they know that she's dying. You've got Eileen Atkins, who plays the night nurse. There's a weird thing with her character going on that it took me out of the film a bit. Meryl Streep is in it for literally 5 minutes, which pissed me off. You know, I'm a big fan of Meryl Streep, and it pissed me off that she was only in it for 5 minutes. Yeah, just a a very, very disappointing film that I really had hoped for more from, because of the cast. I like a good drama as well, but just too uninteresting. Yeah, not worth the watch. I would say skip this one. Because I had a slightly sour taste in the mouth, and I was a bit dissatisfied with how much Meryl Streep was used in that film. I then decided to watch She-Devil, which I'd never seen before. It was a pickup from Oxfam when I went out with Tim a few weeks ago. I've still not actually uploaded that yet. But obviously this is Meryl Streep, Ed Begley Jr. and Roseanne Barr. Very, very funny film, very much a change of pace to the previous film. It's a comedy. It's about a woman who's an everyday sort of woman played by Roseanne Barr. She's a mother, she's a wife, sort of like a housewife, and she sort of realizes that her husband's been having an affair with this very, what's the word? Uptight romance novelist. She's very uptight. She thinks very little of everyone else, played by Meryl Streep, and she's hilarious in this. He runs off with her, sort of starts to try to make a life with her, and leaves Roseanne Barr's character and her two young kids alone to deal with it. So she takes it upon herself to get revenge on both of them, and that is what she sets out to do. I won't spoil it any more than that. That is as far as I'll go. There's some great stuff in here. Linda Hunt in here as well. She plays sort of a nurse at an old people's home that sort of gets enlisted by Roseanne Barr's character. They befriend each other. She's got a small part, but really good part in this. And Sylvia Miles, who plays Meryl Streep's character's mother, brilliant in this, really funny. It's just a extremely funny late 80s comedy, very underseen. I've never really heard anyone speak about this before, but yeah, it's one that I can definitely recommend if you've not seen it. So yeah, that is She-Devil. And then I'd skipped this one the last few Christmases, so I thought this year was the right year to go back and watch it. I'd say it's one of my favourites. Some people wouldn't even consider it a Christmas film. I think any film that is set during Christmas time, if it's mentioned once, if you know it's set at Christmas time, it's a Christmas film. And I will argue anyone that says otherwise to the ends of the earth, because it doesn't have to be full of Christmas stuff. As long as you know it's set at Christmas time, to me, it's a Christmas film. But it may be an action film before it's a Christmas film, if you know what I mean. But anyway, the film in question is Gremlins. Love this, one of my favourite sort of 80s films. I know they're doing a third one, not next year, the year after. Be interesting to see what they do with that. I've not actually seen the sequel. Is it Gremlins The New Batch? Because the HMV Premium is pretty well out of print now, so it's hard to come by. But yeah, I chucked this on. It's always fun. Just I love the music. I love Gizmo, obviously. I think Zach Galligan and Phoebe Cates have great chemistry with each other. It's just a lot of fun. Everybody really knows what Gremlins about, like, so I don't really need to go into the plot, but it's just a very fun, easy watch. It's only just over an hour and a half as well. So yep, had to rewatch that. Gremlins. I then decided to watch The Dark Half, which is a Stephen King adaptation directed by George A. Romero and starring Timothy Hutton in the lead role. It's, like I said, a Stephen King adaptation based on one of his novels, and it was okay. It's not my favourite adaptation of King's. There were parts about it that I liked, and then there were other parts that didn't work as much for me. Oh, it's the screen. I wondered what was reflecting then. It's the screen of my phone is reflecting off of the case. Dear me. It's basically about this author who writes under a pseudonym, the name George Stark, and his novels are very successful, but as a novelist under his own name, he's not having so much luck. And one day this guy he's a college professor, walks into one of his lectures and basically pulls him aside at the end of his class and says, I know who you are, I know you're George Stark. If you don't pay me a stupid amount of money, I'm going to reveal it to the world. And he thinks to himself, well, what's the point in keeping it a secret any longer? He speaks to his publisher, he speaks to his agent. They both think it's not a great idea, but could work for them. So they basically stage a funeral for George Stark, bury him literally, got a headstone, picture with a headstone. And one day, stuff starts happening, people start getting brutally murdered, and Timothy Hutton's character is the prime suspect because of evidence that is pointing towards him. He's got to try and prove it's not him and that there is something far more sinister afoot. Like I said, I think one of the best things about this film is the imagery. I think the imagery in this film is excellent. I think it's just a good story. It's not too strong. I mean, I know King's obviously taking liberties from his real life, because obviously he wrote under Richard Bachman for a while, and then someone worked it out and revealed it to the world. So he's taken some creative liberties with himself in this one, I think. I liked it. Like I said, I liked it. Would I go back to it all that often? Probably not, but I would keep it in the collection because I probably would watch it again some point in the future. But yeah, that is The Dark Half. Trying to... It's at that point in the day where it's not fully light outside, but it's not dark. So it's a bit awkward. I really don't want to put the lights on if I can help it, as long as you can see my lovely face and what I'm showing you, because the glare is even worse with the lights on. So that's why I'm going to try and get through this as quickly as possible so we don't have any of that problem. Next up, I put on Bandits, a Barry Levinson film starring Bruce Willis, Billy Bob Thornton and Cate Blanchett. One of the highlights for me of the whole week, for sure. Although I would say, all in all, there were about 3 highlights for me, like standouts of the week. Excuse me. In this, Billy Bob Thornton and Bruce Willis's characters play bank robbers. And basically what they do it a bit different than other people. They go to the bank manager's house the night before they're about to commit the robbery, the heist, whatever you want to call it. And they take the whole family hostage. And then in the morning, first thing, they go into the bank with the bank manager, get all the money, get away. Then they usually leave it a couple of weeks and do it again. And they have got the names, I think it's the Overnight Bandits, I think they're called, something like that, because they stay at the bank manager's houses overnight. One day, they come across Cate Blanchett's character, Billy Bob. She basically runs over Billy Bob Thornton's character, but she's completely psychotic. Her husband just isn't interested in her. She clearly knows he's seeing someone else. She's a bit loopy. She's not all there. And she fits really well in with them. The only problem is she ends up falling in love with both of them, and she's got to try and decide what she's going to do. They're obviously both trying to fight for her ultimate affection. She says, I'll try and share you. Obviously that's not going to work. And it's, yeah, they're on the run together. They're committing these bank robberies, getting into a lot of trouble, and it's a lot of fun. It's a very fun film. There's some great dialogue in here. It's very funny. All of our leads have great chemistry with each other. It's great seeing Bruce Willis in a different type of role to his normal just straight up action films. A bit comedy in there, which is obviously where his roots are. And yeah, it's really did surprise me, this one. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. And I will definitely be watching this one again. I might even look for a foreign import for this if there is one, because it would be one that I would absolutely love to have on Blu-ray. But yeah, that is Bandits. Probably my first real highlight of the week. All Blu-rays here. The last one that I watched before I went away, which is my second highlight of the week, is a film I bought about the middle of the year. It only came out this year. Just after it came out on Blu-ray. I missed it at the cinema, but it has everything on paper for a film that I would really enjoy, and luckily enough, I really did enjoy it. It's Steve Coogan in The Penguin Lessons, which is just an absolutely beautiful film. I know, Roy, you didn't get on with this one. Fair enough, I know you have your reasons for not liking it, you've explained them, and I understand them. But for me, this film just really, really worked. I love these sorts of films. It's based on a true story, and it basically follows Steve Coogan's character, who's a teacher. He generally teaches English in a lot of South American countries. He's gone to, is it Argentina? Yeah, Argentina, during their civil war in the sort of like late 70s to teach English at this prestigious all boys school run by Jonathan Pryce's headmaster. So he basically gets there. He's not really he's trying to find himself, find his place in the school and in the country. The kids sort of don't really gel with him, but then conflict really hits and they have to shut the school for a few weeks. So he goes down to another country. I can't remember what country it is. Not Guatemala, something like that. Just for the weekend with a fellow teacher, just to let loose, because that you couldn't really do anything in Argentina back in those days. You couldn't drink, you couldn't go out dancing or anything like that. So that's why they go. He meets a woman and they sort of form this sort of connection, have a wander along the beach in the early hours of the morning, and come across all these poor penguins that have been caught up in an oil slick. Fortunately, one of the penguins has survived, so he takes it back to his hotel room, cleans it up. At this point, the woman reveals to Steve Coogan's character that she's married. She just wanted to see what it was like, and she leaves him with the penguin. Now, he's trying to do everything in his power to get rid of this penguin, but whatever he seems to do does not work. So eventually he takes it back to the school with him, hides it from most people. Eventually more people find out about it, but the penguin helps everybody in different ways. It sort of helps them in this horrible time in this country be better people, feel good about each other, get along with each other. And it's very uplifting, it's very nice. It's just a nice story with some great acting in it. Pleasant British film, I would say, although obviously it's not actually set in Britain, but it's produced by the BBC, I think, probably. What's Lionsgate, Rocket Science, Rolling Dice. Yeah, it's one of those sorts of films. But I really recommend it if you like a good, uplifting, heartwarming, true story. Give this one a go. That is The Penguin Lessons. Right, now we're up to last night. First off, a rewatch of a Christmas film, which I haven't watched many of this year, and one that I haven't seen for a few years, which is the criteria I'm trying to do this year. Try and rewatch films I haven't seen for a few years. I don't like watching the same films every year because it gets on my nerves then. So I put on Surviving Christmas, which isn't a brilliant Christmas film. It's definitely not one of my favourite Christmas films, but it's entertaining, at least for me. You've got Ben Affleck, James Gandolfini, Catherine O'Hara, and Christina Applegate, who are leads in this. Ben Affleck plays this billionaire finance sort of executive that finds himself alone on Christmas. He rings around, tries to see if any of his friends are free and he could do anything with them. Nobody is. He sees his doctor or his psychiatrist, or maybe it's his girlfriend's psychiatrist, to find out what he could do because he's feeling so lonely, and he suggests going to his childhood home, burning a piece of paper outside with something on and letting it all go. So he goes to his childhood home, which is now lived in by James Gandolfini and Catherine O'Hara's character. They're a couple who have a son who you don't really see too much, and daughter who comes into it later, played by Christina Applegate. James Gandolfini's character's like, what the hell is this guy doing? He's hugging my tree, he's setting things on fire in front of my house. So he goes out to the front and whacks him over the head with a shovel. Obviously they have, to start with, think they've killed him, take him into the house, and he makes them a deal when he wakes up and says he'll give them like $25,000 or 35, something like that, if he'll let him stay with them over Christmas and pretend to be his family, basically. And it sort of goes from there. Like I said, the daughter comes home and she's like, what on earth is going on here? She's got to sort of try and fit in and play along even though she doesn't really want to. You got these two that are constantly clashing, constantly trying to outbest each other on different things. It's your typical sort of Christmas film. I did enjoy it. It's, like I said, it's fun. It's got some really fun bits in it. It's pretty heartwarming. Not the best Christmas film. There's definitely a lot better. But it passed an hour and a half, and I'd not seen it for a few years, so I thought, why the hell not? That is Surviving Christmas. Right, next up, the third and final highlight of the week, and a film that, on paper, I probably wouldn't like. I'd tell you about this, and you'd probably say that's not your sort of film. It's definitely the most gory film I've personally ever seen, and if you know me, you know I'm not into gore at all. But what helps this film is it's comical. The gore isn't shocking, it's comical, it's funny, and I was laughing a hell of a lot watching this film. And it is Piranha 3D. And no, I did not watch it in 3D. I don't have a 3D TV, but this is a hell of a fun film. Very entertaining. Probably the most entertaining film I've seen this past 2 weeks, whatever. Physically, just crazy, batshit crazy stuff going on in here. There's a point where Elizabeth Shue thinks, how are we going to get rid of these piranhas? I know, I'll shoot a taser into the water and try and kill them. And you got Ving Rhames, who's like the deputy sheriff, and he runs out of shotgun shells, so he thinks, you know what, I'm going to dismantle this propeller from this boat and use it to to bloody shred these piranhas apart. It's mad. Everybody's like literally being torn apart by these piranhas. Guts and faces pulled apart, insides pulled out, carnage, heads exploding because boats are speeding past. These girls get bloody chopped in half by a what? It is absolutely batshit crazy, and it really works for this film. It's just such a fun hour and a half. I really want to watch the sequel now as well. On paper, like I said, not my typical film because I don't like that much gore, but it's played for comedic effect for the most part, and it works really well. You got Christopher Lloyd, who's got a small part in this, who basically is the guy that tells them it's a piranha, they've been extinct for however many years. Not in it for very much, but it's Christopher Lloyd. He's always great. Adam Scott, who's like this part of the diving crew that goes down this crater, which is where the piranhas have come from. He's there. The ending made me laugh with his character. It's just so fucking ridiculous. It's just such a ridiculous film. Yeah, it's just if you like your ridiculous films and you've not seen this, I would definitely recommend it. It's just so stupid. Jawsome. I had so much fun with this film. Directed by Alexandre Aja, who did the remake of The Hills Have Eyes. He did Crawl. He did Never Let Me Go, the Halle Berry one a few years back. He's done a few things. This is definitely my favourite thing of his that I've seen. Just a lot of fun. Very entertaining, quick and easy watch. And yeah, I definitely would recommend giving this a go if you're into these sorts of things. And last, but by no means least, another Christmas film that I had not seen for many, many years, so I thought it was definitely overdue a rewatch, and I'm very glad that I did. It's, of course, The Muppets Christmas Carol with Sir Michael Caine playing Ebenezer Scrooge alongside the whole Muppets crew. I'm a big fan of the Muppets. I grew up on The Muppets Christmas Carol mainly. At Christmas time, and the newer Muppets films, I not delved into the older Muppets stuff. It's sort of before my time. I've only recently watched the original Muppets film. I still haven't seen, is it The Great Muppet Caper, Treasure Island, and then there's like Manhattan one and Muppets in Space, which isn't in here, which I need to grab. It's just a fun, easy to watch sort of thing, and I like the way that they told the story of A Christmas Carol a different way, put musical elements in it, made it more watchable. Michael Caine as Scrooge is just perfect casting. He really fits the part well. It's just a lot of fun. It's one of my favourite versions of A Christmas Carol, I would say. Obviously, the best is the 51 Alistair Sim version. Can't get much better than that. But this one is just a lot of fun. If you like the Muppets and you've not seen this for any reason, definitely give it a go. See what you think of it. Yeah, that's The Muppet Christmas Carol. And that is everything that I've watched in, well, technically the last 2 weeks, but it's only just over a week's worth of watching, should I say. Obviously, it's Christmas this coming week, so I might put out a nice little Christmas message. I think I did last year. But I hope everyone has a absolutely wonderful Christmas, because I don't know if I'll be doing another video or uploading one until after Christmas now. So I hope everyone has a lovely day on Christmas, whether or not you celebrate it. Just take time, spend it with your family. Just have a really good one. And I love, if you make videos, I love to see what everybody's got for Christmas, physical media wise. Always some of my favourite videos of the year. And yeah, just stay safe and all that. Like I said, I'll be doing a live stream on Monday night. So if you want to see my ugly mug again before Christmas, you have an opportunity to do so. And then I'll probably be back after Christmas with some sort of video. I don't know what yet. Got quite a few that I've already recorded that really do need to go up. So maybe between Christmas and New Year, I might just try and get them all out, so we're all on a fresh slate for the new year. But that is it for this video. Let me know if you've seen any of the films that I have watched this week and your thoughts on them down below in the comments section. If you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Turn your notification bell on so you know when I have a new video uploaded to the channel. Comment down below anything and everything. As you know, I always take the time to get back to anyone that leaves me a comment, because I really do appreciate it. And that is it. So until next time, everyone, take care. Goodbye.